everyone, and welcome back. Hopefully this will be a happier episode. I'm crossing my fingers and hoping. I also, I didn't say this last episode, but I did manage to fix the sound on this. Somehow Elgato just fixed itself, and I am not gonna question it. So there's that. I guess I'll just go ahead and start. So ever since my father's death, I have locked myself in my room. I am filled with constant grief and pain, but have become numb on the inside. Even when I want to cry, the tears won't come. Jesse, I brought you something to eat. I'm in no mood to eat. Walt sets the tray down and walks towards me. The blankets crumple as he sits down beside me. Slowly, he wraps his arms around me and strokes my hair. What happened wasn't your fault, Jesse. He did what any father would do for his daughter. He did not deserve to die the way he did. By mother's hand. I know. I curl my fingers into Waltz's shirt. I do not want to lose anyone anymore, Waltz. Waltz continues to stroke my hair. Oh, sorry, tongue. It'll be fine, I promise. For now, you need to rest, Jesse. I'll be here by your side until you fall asleep. He plants a kiss on my forehead, and I close my eyes, relishing his warmth. Waltz's hold is firm, but comfortable, and I sink into his arms as I fall into a dreamless sleep. Days later, the palace announces father's death. It isn't long before Alcester is given his crown. The announcement of his ascension comes with an explanation of the king's death. The palace paints me as a criminal, telling the townsfolk that I was the one who killed the king. I am labeled a fugitive, and the royal family is officially declared missing. We have all been hiding together since then, the royal family included. Now it has been 2 weeks since father died. The longer time moves on, the more aware I become of one gaping realization. Mother has not yet shown herself to the public. What could she be plotting? I place my hand over my heart, willing the pain away. Every time I think of mother, I remember the sword of light that went through my father's body. Enough time has passed. Even though I am suffering losses, I cannot stand idle. I have to fulfill a promise. I will protect our kingdom. I am about to go back to my room when Parfait calls me. Dolores stands beside her. Jesse, can we talk with you? I look away, avoiding their eyes. What is it that you want to discuss with me? It is about the Tenebraeum. Despite Hilda's reveal, it appears that the crystal's light is still dim. That can only mean one thing. Hilda is still weak. Oh, that was Dolores. Whoops. Still weak. Hilda was absorbing all your powers when we found you. We interrupted the process. The crystal was not able to absorb all the magic you now possess. That is why she is still weak. Also, there was something else that bothered me about the crystal. Something odd. A bear has a strong bond with the crystal, a mutual relationship of sorts, but the bond was absent when she returned. What are you saying? It seems as if the crystal is forsaking their bond. What? It seems even though the crystal knows that Hilda's time has come and gone, Princess, the crystal has already chosen you as its next bearer. It is a small blessing, but it doesn't change the fact that Hilda is still one of the strongest witches. At least, that's what she wants us to think. Parfait and Dolores exchange a glance. The crystal has chosen its next bearer, and you have just as much potential, if not even more. Dolores turns to me, her usual expression more solemn. Are you ready to learn magic, Jesse? Magic that you will potentially use to defeat your mother. Sorry guys, I'm gonna take a sip of water. I don't know why I'm so tongue-tied. I think it's just like sometimes I read too fast and I just like forget. Okay. I've never used magic before in my life. I have never been raised as a witch, and using magic to defeat mother. I do not know. Well, regardless of what decision you make, we'll all be here to support you. Dolores and I want you to know that. How is it that they're still wanting to help me when I was the one who caused this whole mess? I need some fresh air. I begin to walk towards the door when I see Ophelia walk in from the tavern. Our eyes briefly meet and she opens her mouth to say something, then stops when I shake my head. I do not want to hear her blame me for my father's death. Certainly that must be what she is thinking. Ophelia frowns but does not speak. I quicken my pace, almost running as I head into the forest. The night is silent and calm, and my cat is meowing. and the only sound I can hear is a gentle sway of the grass as I step through it. Mother is back because of me. If I hadn't revived her, Father would still be alive. How am I supposed to face everyone knowing that? Waltz has been trying to cheer me up. While I appreciate his company and concern, even he cannot help me come to terms with my mistakes. I hear footsteps behind me, and I turn to see Waltz approaching with a frown on his face. Jesse, please, I'm not in the mood to listen to your reassurances again. I do not need you to tell me that this whole thing was not my fault. Jesse, your father wouldn't want to see you like this. How would you know what my father wanted? I snap at him without meaning to, not bothering to hide the irritation in my voice. I'm sorry, I don't know why my cat is really wanting attention right now. Buttercup, this is a romantic scene. Jeez. She hasn't been pet in a few days because I haven't been home. So she's been missing me. Hold on, I'm gonna get her on my lap real quick. So sorry you guys are gonna hear some moving of chairs. But, okay, come on my lap. There you go. Okay. Now she should stop meowing a bit. Sorry guys. Very professional of me. He wanted you to walk forward, not linger in the past that cannot be changed. You've been distancing yourself from us since the king passed. Don't think that I haven't noticed. Why is that? Because this is the only way that I can keep them safe. What are you talking about? Well, nah. You know that I'll always be by your side, Jesse. Shouldering that burden will only worsen your pain. Worsen? I already know the pain of losing someone I love. I brought nothing but suffering to those around me. I cannot get close to anyone again, lest I put them in danger. I have already lost my father, and I do not want to lose anyone else. Especially not you, Waltz. Waltz's eyes widen as he stares at me. I want to show you something. Keep your eyes open, Jesse. You can't miss it. Waltz snaps his fingers, and golden orbs of light suddenly spring to life around us. Oh, I can only marvel at the orbs of light floating around us. They look like stars dancing through the night. It's beautiful. Cannot truly appreciate how bright a star is without darkness. Walt snaps his finger again, and most of the lights go out. During difficult times, the lights grow dimmer. He snaps again, only one light remains. When you're all alone, it grows even dimmer still. There are things that you cannot do on your own, otherwise you risk snuffing your own light out. Another snap and golden orbs return, this time in great numbers. The lights are brighter than they ever were before. You are not alone, Jesse. I love you, and it hurts to see you suffer alone like this. My heart is pounding so hard, I fear it might escape my chest. In this moment, it feels as if time has stopped, and it's just the two of us. All I can see is Waltz. As I stand here staring at him, I come to a realization. I love him. When did this happen? After a few moments, I realize that it doesn't matter. I stand up on the tips of my toes so that I can cup Waltz's face in my hands. I move before I can think, leaning over to place a light kiss on his lips. Oh my god! I'm such a nerd. Oh my god, I'm actually blushing. Whew. I feel an arm around me as Waltz pulls me closer. The kiss becomes more heated and I feel a gentle flame stirring my stomach, even as my mind becomes foggy. I feel his tongue on my lips, but when I part them, he is suddenly drawn away, his face deep red. So sorry, I need to catch my breath. I feel the heat in my cheeks and I have to fight back my embarrassment. I just kissed Waltz. Oh my god, look, we're blushing! Both in real life and in the game. I look up at Waltz, suddenly realizing how close he is to me. I quickly bury my face in his chest to hide my embarrassment. Waltz's chest rises and falls with gentle laughter. You're so cute. I close my eyes, allowing his warmth to envelop me like a blanket. I love you, my little star. This is not just your battle anymore, Jesse. You don't have to carry this burden alone. So please, trust in me. Trust in us. I am overwhelmed, but Waltz's words make me feel strangely light, as if a weight has been truly lifted from my shoulders. I will, thank you. We should be going back now, or everyone else might get worried. Waltz places a soft kiss on my forehead and smiles as he pulls me away. He extends a hand towards me. Let's go, my little star. I smile as I slowly take his hand. We walk back towards the march-in, hand in hand, momentarily forgetting about all the bad things that have transpired. God, that was cute. That was really freaking cute. Oh my god, what a good scene. And I was thinking earlier today, I was like, I have enough energy to record like a 30-minute episode, so if y'all are wondering why this episode is going to be a little bit longer, that's probably why. I'm going to go ahead and record a bit more than usual today, because why not? So it has almost been 3 weeks since Mother's revival, and I have yet to... yeah, let's do a 30-minute episode immediately, gets tongue-tied. And yet I have not heard or seen anything from her. What are you planning to do, Mother? Parfait told me before that the Tenebraeum had already chosen me as its next bearer. Does that have anything to do with why Mother is still in hiding? My cat is on my desk. Buttercup, please. It is impossible not to feel the weight of my new responsibility. Okay, Buttercup, you have to leave. I tried. Jeez. I have not yet fully accepted that I am now the bearer, but I cannot run from this responsibility for long. The Tenebraeum bearer's duty is to work alongside Parfait to balance the light and darkness of the kingdom. That balance had only just begun mending before Mother's sudden revival. For nights I have begun wondering if there is some other way to stop Mother without fighting her. A small part of me hopes that perhaps Mother can still change. I think about that, and then I remember how Mother so heartlessly killed Father as soon as she had been revived. She was sleeping for 4 years, but that did not change her mind. Even now I can only assume that she still means to make this kingdom suffer. It feels as if my heart is twisting itself into a knot. I gasp when a bright spark fizzles to life in my hands. I clench and unclench my hands, taking deep breaths to calm myself. Ever since I've started trying to work with magic, it has been activating on its own. Whenever I feel any sort of deep emotion, some type of electricity sparks in my hands. It is all I can do to try and keep my emotions in check. The last thing I want is to accidentally burn down the Martian, or hurt anyone inside of it. Delora and Waltz have both agreed to start teaching me how to use my magic. For the last few days, the forest near the Martian has served as the training grounds. Parfait constantly cloaks the Martian in powerful magic to keep her presence hidden from Mother and the other witches. It allows us to use our magic without worrying about being tracked. Still, Parfait's constant spell has considerably weakened her. Delora and Waltz have tried to convince her not to cast it in the first place, but Parfait insisted that we remain as close to the Tenebraeum as possible, rather than move somewhere safer. She told us all that I need is to be close to the Tenebraeum as its bearer. As far as we all know, the crystal is still unmoved in the palace. I know that the chance that I will face Mother in battle of magic is extremely high. Although I fear the outcome, I have no choice but to consider the possibility. Time is running out, and I do not have the luxury of waiting much longer. I must decide what I must do. They all believe that I am the only one who can stand up to Mother, even with so little practice. Last night I told Parfait that I would make my decision the next day, that I would tell everyone what I had decided. Now is the time for that decision. When I step into the reception room, everyone is already there waiting for me. I catch Walsh's eyes first. He cocks his head ever so slightly, his lips stretching into a warm smile. I nod at him and smile back. I take a deep breath before facing everyone. This is the first time I've spoken properly with everyone since my father's death. Before I tell all of you my decision, I want to apologize for everything that I've done and for everything that has happened. Mother is back because I was a coward, and Father died because I was weak. Jessie. Ophelia is the first to respond. It wasn't your fault, dear. I stare down at the ground with my hands clenched. I try to will my anger away, but only manage a few deep, stilling breaths before I look up again. I brought Mother back because I feared that disobedience would have them kill my father, yet in the end, he was still... The image of my father's smiling face flashes through my mind. I clear my throat. I promised him that I would protect Angiel, and that is what I intend to do. I will do everything I can to protect our kingdom. Spoken like a true queen. The words are shocking, even more so when they come out of Delora's mouth. Queen. Why do you seem surprised, princess? You know you're next in line for the throne. I hadn't even thought about being the next ruler. I'm not even sure I have the right qualities. Can I really do this? I wanted to see you become queen. Protect our kingdom. I cannot let Father down. I have to do this for his sake, but the kingdom comes before the crown. I will only take the crown if I can win it back. I will have to rely on all of you. I will need your help. I will need your help is a stronger answer. They both kind of say the same thing, but yeah, I will need your help. I am still weak, but that will not stop me from training every day until we face Mother. I hope that I am not asking for too much, but I hope you will all fight with me to protect our kingdom together. You didn't even need to ask us that, Jessie. It goes without saying that we'll help you in any way that we can. I second that. We'll all be here for you. I smile at everyone gathered. So this is what it feels like to be trusted and needed. It feels good. It will be hard, but we will stop Mother. Together we might stand a chance against her. Hilda is strong, but not invulnerable. Parfait looks at me, eyebrows furrowed. You know what we must do to stop Hilda, Princess? I feel a tinge of pain in my chest, but I force my eyes to hold Parfait's gaze. I look into Parfait's eyes with determination. I do. Later that same day, I resume my training with Waltz, while Parfait and Delora try to come up with a plan. Durian and Garland return to the town to listen to any information regarding Mother and Alcester, or any happenings in the palace. I force myself to focus only on learning how to use magic as fast as I can. Today, Waltz is continuing his lesson on barriers. Ugh. He has been teaching me the same spells for the past week, emphasizing for my protection. Let's review the type of barriers, because you got bearers and barriers. I've been trying to teach you. Do you remember them? One shield protects you from harm, while the other deflects the spell back at the caster. Powerful spells cannot be deflected. That's why you need to be able to tell which spells can be reflected and which cannot. Otherwise, you'll end up using the wrong barrier. A single mistake can cost you your life. So, how do I know which barrier I must use? Allow me to demonstrate. You've seen me cast my spells many times, so you should be able to tell the difference between them. But for now, let's think of it as another game. Just take a guess. Who knows? You might actually give me the right answer. I'll give you a nice little treat if you do. I hope it's a treat. He always did like treating me in town. It's special this time. I wonder if this is just like those other sweets he treated me to before. Walt snaps his fingers, and a glimmering but faint purple light appears around him. It is faded at first, but slowly becomes brighter as he moves his hands. Usually the effects of Waltz's magic are immediate, but the spell takes longer to cast. Is it stronger magic? I remember Waltz telling me before that it takes a lot of energy to cast a strong barrier. Does that apply to offensive spells as well? Question time. What kind of barrier should you use? If it's a strong one... I have a 50-50 shot. We'll see. The slow casting time makes it seem like a powerful spell, and powerful spells cannot be deflected. Surely this is the right answer. Is that your final answer? My confidence is reading with Jessie, throttled by sudden indecision. Jessie, in the midst of battle, you won't have the luxury of time to think about your decision. I look at him and nod. It should be the right answer. That is correct. Now prepare your shield. I've never shielded myself from a powerful spell. What if my barrier breaks? Trust in yourself, Jessie. I do as instructed and stretch out my hands to cast a barrier to shield myself. Here I go. My hands shake as Waltz's spell collides with my barrier. I plant my feet to hold myself upright. Such a strong spell. When the light dissipates, I look up hesitantly before smiling triumphantly when I see that my barrier is still in one piece. I did it! Well done, little star. I eye the barrier again. My heart sinks when I notice new cracks in its surface. My barrier. Don't fret, Jessie. Even the strongest barrier will obtain cracks after being hit by a powerful spell. That is when you set up your next barrier. The opponent will usually make the mistake of assuming you have the same shield up and will attack you with a weaker spell to try and break it. You can be ready for them with a new barrier. I nod. I'm impressed at how fast of a learner you are. I have a good teacher. I think you're just a good student. So, when will you teach me offensive spells? I don't think you need to learn those quite yet. The witches we're up against will probably stick to offensive, which means protecting yourself will be even more vital than trying to attack them. I told everyone that I would fight, and I meant it. If I need to hurt someone to save someone, I will do it. I look him in the eyes, my gaze unwavering. I still need to learn. My cat is being a little shit again. I still need to learn, even if it is just one offensive spell, Waltz. What if I need to help you? I cannot do that just by conjuring barriers. I will not lose anyone else's time, Waltz. I look up at Waltz and my heart aches at the sight of his frown. I do not want to lose you either. That is why I need to be as strong as possible. I want to be able to protect you. Waltz makes his way over to me in just a few strides and pulls me into his arms. I will do what I can to save you from a repeat of what happened last time, Jesse. But you won't lose me. Waltz pulls back and looks at me, his expression warm and gentle. Here's your treat, as promised. Huh? Waltz bends down and places his lips over mine in a soft kiss. Oh, I knew it! Oh, Waltz is smooth. Ooh. Way to go, Waltz. Oh my god, we're blushing instantly. It is a short-lived kiss, but it's still enough to make me breathless. You're all red, Jesse. That was your special treat? Disappointed. I quickly press my cheek to his chest to keep him from seeing my tinted cheeks. No. Let's call it a day. You need to rest. Teach me an offensive spell first. Jesse, we've been practicing since this morning and it will be dark soon. You already know that overusing your magic will take a toll on your body, especially when you're still getting accustomed to it. I shake my head at Waltz, determined. Using my magic before did wear me out, but now I can handle more. What kind of barrier would I be if I couldn't handle this much? Bearer, not barrier. Gosh darn it. Please, I am begging you, Waltz. He eventually sighs and rubs the back of his neck. Okay, but just one spell. Thank you. He steps away from me. What I will teach you is a lightning spell. It's not for the faint-hearted. It will inflict excruciating pain on your enemies and also potentially paralyzing them. I nod as Waltz continues his explanation. Though I try my best to conjure electricity, I've only managed sparks at the end of the day. We tried. A for effort. I collapse onto my bed and I can feel the exhaustion lying over me like a blanket. I can barely move my arms after trying the lightning spell over and over again. I need to learn that spell as soon as possible. I yawn and then close my eyes. Sleep comes easy that night. It always does when you work out. Jessie. That voice. Come back to me, my sweet princess. No. You have no choice in this, little one. You will come back to me, whether you like it or not. I will be waiting for you. I sit up in my bed, my heart pounding loudly in my chest and in my ears. A dream? I wipe unexpected beads of sweat from my forehead as I calm myself with steady breaths. No. I will never go back to you, Mother. I end up waking up later than usual, a result of my practice from yesterday. When I step inside the reception room, I see Jurian and Garland speaking with Parfait, Delora, and Waltz. There's definite solemnity. Sound it out. To the air. They all turn to look at me as I approach. Did something happen? Princess, the palace made an announcement today. They are issuing a higher bounty on your head for murder and treason. What? It was very strange, what with the fact that they haven't even bothered to look for you since that day. Oh, that was Garland. Whoops. Something that must have happened to force him to suddenly act. Dolores soon gathers everyone in the room to discuss Jurian and Garland's discovery. The only one who isn't here is Anise, who's in town buying ingredients for the Marchand's meals. But Jesse didn't kill anyone. Is there some way to convince them? Alcester is in power now, and the people favor him. Now that everyone remembers who I am, they are once again frightened of me. No one would even listen to you. They haven't seen how much you've changed. If only they could understand your circumstances, they might be more sympathetic. I look at Emma Lane in surprise and find myself smiling at her. Thank you for your kind words. I turn to everyone once again and frown. Once again, I am the one putting everyone in danger. I'm so sorry. If any single one of them gets hurt, I will never forgive myself. Waltz takes my hand and squeezes it. This simple gesture does wonders to calm my nerves. Don't be too hard on yourself, Jesse. We've all told you already, we want to help you. We're all in this together. We're in this together, not all in this together. Dang it, High School Musical. He is right. I am not sure if there is much Or I'm not sure if there's much Rod, Emmeline, or I could do, but we'll definitely support you until the end. Before I might have cringed at her words, but now Ophelia has nothing to gain from pretending. Mother is right. We're a family and we will not abandon you. Ophelia and Emmeline are both smiling at me warmly. Even Rod seems to have a ghost of a smile on his face. Thank you. I apologize for bringing this up, Karma, but is it possible to ask for reinforcements from Brugantia? Brugantia is one of our neighboring kingdoms. We have never had close ties, mostly because Brugantia's king tends to stay far away from our personal and political affairs. They have always refused to engage in any sort of violent affairs. We all look at Karma, who stands there, looking sullen. After a few moments, he lets out an exasperated sigh. You want me to ask the kingdom of Brugantia for help? I remember Karma mentioning before that he was part of a noble family, but I didn't expect him to be from Brugantia. What is he doing here, and how could he possibly ask for help from a king? The king does not participate in battles or skirmishes. It seems very unlikely that he would provide support. He wouldn't provide assistance? Not even if his own son asked him? Son, you mean... Karma crosses his arms and sighs. Well, I suppose there's no use in hiding it anymore. Yes, I am the son of King Clemente of Brugantia. Judging from the sun quiet in the room, it seems that Parfait, Delora, Waltz, and the knights were the only ones that knew. You are the lost prince. The lost prince. Gennaro told me that the King Clement's oldest son has disappeared just a year ago. There were circumstances. My family never knew I had the fairy tale curse, and I was forced to leave my kingdom so that I could come here to break my curse. He came to Angiel to break his curse. His eyes wander slowly towards me, but then focuses once more on the conversation. To answer your question though, no, I do not believe my father would send help. He hasn't heard from me since I left a year ago, and he would most likely think I'm some sort of imposter unless I showed up at the kingdom's doorstep. Even then, he would have too many questions, and we would never get the help we were seeking in time. Seems that we can't rely on him for help then. We all turn to stare at Anise. Fine Lady Anise has suddenly appeared in the marching. What magic is this? Oh, Rumple. I actually just came back. I'm sorry for startling you all, but I found this and I had to bring it back. Her smile fades as she pulls out a flyer for us to see. An announcement. From the looks of it, 4 days from now, Alcester will make a speech about the changes that are to happen in Angiel. Changes? That doesn't sound very promising. It means bad news, but it may be worthwhile to take a look. This might give us some insight into what's happening at the palace. Hilda is still in hiding, but it seems very likely that she can be involved in all this somehow. They could all be plotting something special for that day. Garland and I can go to the event then. We'll make sure not to stand out. I'm coming too. Jessie. I need to know what is happening. I cannot hide forever, Waltz. I will go and I do not need anyone's permission to do so. Well, I guess you're technically the next queen after all. Delora, don't encourage her. We both know how stubborn she is. She won't stay put even if we commanded her to. Delora looks at me and winks. Parfait lets out a heavy sigh. Waltz and Karma will accompany her then. Waltz nods and Karma looks somewhat startled, but eventually nods as well. So until that day comes, we all need to prepare for the worst case scenario. Oh, okay guys, I'm calling it. Oh my god, my voice is done. I have tried so hard. Okay, it was a longer episode though. I am proud of myself for that. But I will talk to you guys in the next one, and obviously this is going to try and come out as daily as possible. I do have finals this week, so it might be a little challenging, but they should mostly be done by now. So I will talk to you guys later, and please remember to like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you're thinking, how you're feeling about this game, and I guess I'll talk to you guys